Anime changed, like really changed. It's no longer the days of long-running weekly shonen that go for hundreds of episodes. Short-form content had a huge impact on the industry, the community, and even our reality. We can't focus as much as we used to. We want that next dopamine hit. We want to scroll. Our primitive brains can't sit still to watch something like this anymore.
爆発事故の原因はあなただそうですわね。
誤解だ。
あなたのせいですわね。仕事しなかったって部長に怒られちゃいます。
被害者はこっちだって。
And just like any rising phenomena, the big money boys and companies know exactly how to adapt and capitalize on that to make the most amount of profit possible. And it started to show when seasonal anime began to be more favored over the traditional long shonen. My Hero Academia, Seven Deadly Sins, Attack on Titan, and sports anime led in that change and gained popularity and success. But they still carried that same feeling of traditional anime, except in shorter form. We needed something faster and more engaging. In comes the new gen, or whatever TikTok guys are calling it now. Demon Slayer, Fire Force, Chainsaw Man, Blue Lock. People wanna see that, not this. But this. The new trend was set, the style established, and the studios working. High quality animation, intriguing story, cool and lovable characters, and more importantly, speed. And no title nailed all of these aspects in the perfect doses more than Jujutsu Kaisen, a franchise that struck gold twice because it became both fan favorite and corporate favorite. No wonder it is mapped as most loved child, bathing in the highest budget, most talented animators, and all the glory possible. Jujutsu Kaisen took the world by storm, both in manga and anime form. It felt like the perfect blend of previous tropes and expectations we have for action shonen series, and that specially unique blend of elements we've never seen before, being something that's both original but also familiar. And that familiarity is precisely why people get attached to it early on, because it reminds us of something we grew up with and love. Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto, Neon Genesis Evangelion, all inspirations of Jujutsu Kaisen. And no wonder we feel that way, because the author of Gege Akutami feels exactly the same. He is one of us, grew up watching what we watched, and created a story that reflected that, filled with pop culture references and jokes and memes that only we understand. What sets Jujutsu Kaisen apart is that it is a literal child of anime and manga history that built a foundation from years of anime tropes and storytelling techniques that work, and added a plethora of new and exciting elements. And that's why the story spirals out of the bounds of storytelling we know. There is a huge difference between early Jujutsu Kaisen and current Jujutsu Kaisen, and the turning point is what we are exactly watching in the anime. Two specific arcs that flipped the whole table, hell, even the whole building. The Star Plasma Vessel and the Shibuya Incident arcs are very beautifully written, trauma-inducing, and perfect pieces of story that Gege Akutami blessed us with. Don't worry, there aren't going to be any manga spoilers in this video, in case you are an anime-only individual. But just to make you understand the sort of experience we had back in late 2019 and throughout 2020, Shonen Jump was on fire, Wano was starting to get heated, My Hero Academia and Black Clover were both in their best arcs ever, shifting gears and raising the ceiling in every issue. Strong newcomers like Monster Number 8 and Sakamoto Days were establishing themselves as the challengers and the future. Chainsaw Man was, well, we don't talk about Chainsaw Man, but none came close in terms of quality, action, nor story to Jujutsu Kaisen. I was reading all of these series and consider myself a fan of all of them, but the one that made me stay up at night, thought about it at uni, the gym, while eating, even while reading other manga, was Jujutsu Kaisen. I swear I'm not exaggerating, I would even say it was more severe than the way I put it. I am a changed man. Jujutsu Kaisen set the standard high for shonen manga for me, and it's doing the same now for anime. I always found it hard to watch something that's mediocre and unoriginal. Obviously, as someone who watched hundreds of anime throughout my life, watching any anime nowadays feels hard and almost impossible. I can hardly keep up with the few seasonal stuff that's going on, often watching 1 to 3 shows that I either love the source material of and really am hyped for, or that new kid on the block that I wasn't planning on but catches me. It is burnout, I know, but I would say Jujutsu Kaisen has a hand in that somehow. Elevating the ceiling is a real thing. Dragon Ball Z, Akira, Berserk, Evangelion, the Big Three. These series all had a huge impact in their specific eras that the whole industry had to adjust and follow these new rules. They dictated what would then shape the whole medium for the next couple of years or forever. Attack on Titan, Your Name, Cowboy Bebop, Pokemon. All of these historic names helped sharpen that edge. And the dark trio of the generation is that result of those years of perfecting the formula that set the new standard of quality, but also pushing it in their own ways. They adapted to our modern era and capability for media consumption. And of course, JJK takes the lead in that, not only because it is the better of the three, but also the larger in scale, most consistent, and unique. It capitalized on the power of social media and internet culture. Memes, fan art, and discussions about the series flood platforms like Twitter and Reddit. Do you know how many discussions on the fraud suspicions I've seen in the last couple of weeks addressing a certain ongoing fight in the manga? The first words I uttered in this video are "anime changed," and we're seeing that change as clear as ever with a new gen or whatever. Jujutsu Kaisen's novelty and adaptability created a vibrant and engaging community. The anime's stunning animation, intense fight sequences, and memorable characters have already become iconic and will be soon looked at as a modern classic. The anime is a visual feast, featuring dynamic choreography, visually striking curses, breathtaking use of color. MAPPA has poured their talent and resources into bringing the world of Jujutsu Kaisen to life, delivering consistently high quality visuals that further enhance our experience. So both the quality and goodness of a manga, so good people can't stop talking about it, paired with the luxury of one of the most cared about and passionate anime projects we've ever seen. A series that perfectly balances out my crippling depression and serotonin levels. I like the characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. It will only take you a look at my channel to figure out how much I love them. I like how the dialogue flows. I am obsessed with how the series forces you to pay attention and rewards you for doing so. How subtly rich the world, history, and deep the layers are in everything. Curse techniques, character psyche, symbolism, references, foreshadowing, and narrative. Everything is finely woven in details and covered in mystery, making it feel richer than it already is. I've always liked that ambiguous way of telling stories that doesn't bore you with stupid, outdated exposition, or treats you like a dumbass who needs his hand held throughout the journey, and an author's attempt at making sure that everything is clear. If anything, it just takes away from the focus and freedom of exploring the story. If an author pays that much obsessive attention or has a crystal clear plot and power system, fuck that. This gives us more unique experiences with the story and a more active way of watching and appreciating it. There is plotlines that needs us paying attention and minor details that can be overlooked, and more importantly, a library of quality served in a stylish and unique way that is hilarious, lovely, enjoyable, or traumatizing, depending on how the author felt that day. If it's not obvious, I am a huge fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. Ever since the night I saw chapter 1 released and thought to check it out and see if it's interesting. Almost 5 years later now, I created a whole YouTube channel just to talk about how good it is and analyze its layers and characters. I started using Reddit for soaking deeper in the community. I love this series and I can proudly say it's my favorite thing in the last 5 years and easily takes its place in the hall of masterpieces in my heart. I will put together a giant hour-long retrospective video about it as a final tribute by the end of the manga. So how about you subscribe to not miss that and more from me, like my gaming channel for example. Glad you stuck to the end. Enjoy this season of Jujutsu Kaisen. I hope you find something that makes you happy today and don't wake up from a nightmare tomorrow, even though that's going to be very hard with the Shibuya incident.